Nathan, please get the round applause ready for a local Sydney boy from Cherrybrook, who now Hollywood blockbusters, well, they can't get enough of. He's come a long way from being the delivery driver at David's Cakes, but we always knew he was destined for greatness, known for his commanding screen presence and magnetic versatility. He's become a fixture in the action cinema, slipping seamlessly between the explosive worlds of A Good Day to Die Hard, Divergent, Suicide Squad, If I was going to be an actor, I'd be this bloke. This bloke keeps nailing it. I'd actually look like Josh Houston, though. That's a good-looking rooster. And speaking of Joshy, this man and Joshy are together for a film that got a 10-minute standing ovation recently at the Cannes Film Festival. One person vomited, one passed out. Yes, he's here to chat to us about this film, Dangerous Animals. Please welcome to the show, Courtney!
Hello, mates.
Wow. What an intro. I need you as my hype crew everywhere I go.
He's happy to go to all Cannes Film Festivals from now on. He will be the guy vomiting.
Oh, shit. That was awesome.
I'm glad I got that right, didn't I? You were the delivery driver for David's Cakes. That's true, isn't it?
Dude, what a great shout out. I hope Davey hears this. I was the delivery driver at David's Cakes. It was great. I lied. He's a mate of my dad's. I lied to him and told him I could drive a manual. And suffice to say, I probably burnt the clutch out on his van figuring it out. But, yeah.
My partner's mum worked at the Borkham Hills one, and she was like, Joe was always a lovely boy, but he wasn't a great driver. I'm glad you figured it out. You were good at something. You figued it out in the end.
Yeah, exactly. I found my lane.
You couldn't find it on the road, mate, not the M1.
You're going the wrong way on the car hill. What are you doing? Can you drive stick now, Jai? Can you drive stick now or no?
Yeah. Of course I can. Yeah, you got to figure that. You can't be an Aussie and live anywhere else in the world and not be able to claim that you can drive a bloody manual.
Yeah.
Did you have to lie about anything early days on your CV if you're trying to get some gigs? Like you're like, I can ride horseback or whatever, and then
I did say once I could ride a horse, and that was to Russell Crowe, and he looked at me straight in the eye and he said, "Don't bullshit, man." And he was
He's terrifying too.
Yeah, don't bullshit me, cake man. I've heard about you.
He knew. He goes, everyone says they can ride a horse and play a harmonica. And I was like, well, I can't do that.
Hey, Jai, let's talk about the new film, Dangerous Animals. I mean, Jim just said standing ovation, Cannes, which is awesome, mate. How do you possibly put yourself in the mind of characters like this? A serial killer, shark obsessed, like...
He is psychotic.
I guess what I'm saying...
The girls, we couldn't even get through the trailer because we're like, okay, it's just too scary.
You're fucked, Jai.
I guess what I'm saying, Jai, is what the hell is wrong with you?
So much. I mean, that's the beauty of playing a role like this. It's really not that far beneath the surface. You just gotta dive down a little, tear open all those wounds, and get busy.
Yeah. Because how was your, any experiences when living in Australia with sharks? Like, did you ever come across a shark or anything like that? Did you ever have a
saw one up in Sawtell when I was swimming with a mate of mine. We were like 13 or 14. And it was pretty scary because it was just a big black fin slicing through a kind of rolling wave, and that was not cool. But obviously, didn't get any closer to us than it needed to. But yeah, I mean, fuck, I don't know. We used to catch little ones with our fishing rods, and we'd eat them. They were pretty good. But yeah, it's like you kind of know they're out there, and no one really wants to get closer than they should. But what are you going to do? We're in their backyard, so you kind of it's a part of nature.
Yeah.
People were spewing and passing out at the Cannes Film Festival. Did you see anything in the script and go, this is just too much for me? I don't think I can stomach what I need to act.
I definitely saw some very long days for certain characters and what they would have to endure. I mean, it's a little easier on my end because I'm dishing it out mostly. Nights. I mean, there was a night on set where one of our cast members is like strung up in a harness, hanging over the open water, screaming for her life, and she does a phenomenal job. Ella Newton in this film, she plays a character called Heather, and honestly, it was like too much for me and the entire crew. We were like, you just at a certain point you get confronted by it and can get kind of swept away a little, and we were like, man, can we get it down, please? This is too ridiculous.
Yeah, this is full on.
You're going to be pretty proud of it as well. Like, an Aussie survival horror story, essentially. Shot on the Gold Coast. We said friend of ours, Joshy Houston, is in it. Cult, horror director Shawnee Byrne as well, putting it all together. Like, does that make you like? Do you look for these things and go, "Geez, it's great to get together with a bunch of Aussies"?
It is great. I mean, it's I've been fortunate enough to get thrown some pretty cool Aussie stuff over the last 10 years, and I get to come home and work probably every year or two, and usually on something that I'm really passionate about. So it was just another chance at that, and I love the Gold Coast. It's always fun to come and film there, and our crews are just the best. You always have a good time, and make great friends. I mean, Joshy's like a brother to me now, and I don't know, man. It's always a positive experience working in Oz, and to get to do something like this that is, has kind of universal appeal, but plays something that I hope, becomes, at least somewhat of an iconic character. It's really special.
Has Joshy Houston helped you out with any Louis Vuitton products? Because we know he's the body and the face of Louis at the moment. Has he swung you any deals?
Doesn't share shit with me. I'm not sample size, unfortunately.
Yeah, but you're a real man, John. You're a real man.
We were together at the F1 and he got us into the Louis Vuitton lounge and then they were handing out little bags and I kid you not, he puts his hand out and he goes, no, they're not actually supposed to be here. It's like you're a dog.
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, exactly. So I guess what we're saying is I wish he was the one strung up above the shark. Hey, Joe, how do you go with like the gore and stuff being filmed? Obviously, you're just telling a story about the screaming and being strung up above the water. But how do you go with the gore and dealing with that side of things when you're in the moment and you're supposed to be, someone who's enjoying that stuff? Like, did you grow up?
It's usually a triumph in like the effects that you're employing. I mean, a lot of that stuff is like practical. So that means like instead of it being painted in CGI, for instance, you're using like blood rigs and things and old school prosthetics. And when you see that stuff, like it's a real art form. And when that's like conveyed convincingly, it's pretty cool. I mean, there are like chopped up bodies in this movie, and we all had to do like casts of our bodies and heads and things because you never know what's going to happen to who and where who's going to be floating in the water when, and like it's really amazing like actually to kind of see that stuff at work. I
love that it's like real. Like how many takes do you get at it though? Like obviously with CGI they can paint it in, but like how much fake blood do you have? How many of those things? Like how many times do you get
there was fucking trucks of fake blood on this. Just like they coming in and like freshening it up, and you're just like, at one point, the whole deck of that boat is just like But you know what? That's what you got to expect from a film like this.
Yeah. It's about a serial killer and sharks. What do you think, mate? There's going to be some blood. Hey, Jai, exactly. Thank you so much for being on the show. There is one last thing that I do want to ask you. It's actually come from my wife because we're obsessed with The Summit, obviously the show that you are the host of. There's an ongoing argument between me and her because if you don't know The Summit, so people are racing to get to the top of a mountain. Mm-hmm. Jai's the host of this and you appear at different levels. She is convinced that you climb the mountain and wait for them there. I think you're dropped there by some sort of vehicle. Are you actually climbing it or are you dropped there? Because you don't have to get up to the top, by yourself.
No, I catch a helicopter to work.
Genius.
Obviously. Why would he do it if he doesn't have
Yes,
to?
this is my argument. My wife's
she's in love with Jai. She's like, he just climbs up there for fun.
Yeah.
Look at that mountain man.
And I'm going to say to him, guess what, babe? He can't climb mountains and he can't drive manual.
Can't drive stick.
That's it.
Oh, Jai, mate, we absolutely love you. We're so pumped.
Cheers,
Dangerous
guys.
Animals. It's in cinemas nationally on June 12th. Go see it. Go support some great Aussie people.
Good on you, Jai. Thanks,
Thanks,
buddy.
Oh, yeah. Appreciate it, guys. Take it easy.